Hey, welcome back to Design Elements and Principles. We up session 4, part B. Just so you all know, this is your indication that session 2 shape closes tonight at midnight. Make sure you have everything in under the shape session. It closes out, just like we talked about in the beginning when you look at the grading rubric. I don't accept work 7 days after the due date. That's just not how it works in the industry. We teach you as if it's in the industry. All right, so color, make sure you've done your attendance. We're starting the video lecture A is there, defining color. I went over these lectures last week, not on Tuesday, excuse me. I did the color research project with you. I talked about the color in the book, which I don't really need to talk about because I talk so much about color. Today, we have a design practice and we have our color project. Let's jump on in. So design practice today is going to be an InDesign, and it's going to be similar to what we just did with the Illustrator one. Is there's going to be objects that are missing. And all we're doing is practicing using these programs. Wow, Joel, I've never used InDesign before. Like I've said in the past, it doesn't matter. You're just going to open it, and you're just, that first project, you just move things around. Now we're just going to place in objects that we're missing and move them around. So we're taking you through things in a very slow process. So I'm, of course, going to download my little folder. There it goes. We learn how to download because we're always downloading in the design field. People are sending us stuff, Dropbox in, all that kind of stuff. My downloads there, I double clicked on CP Pinelli's. That's how you say her name, CP Pinelli's. Wonderful designer. It's an InDesign file. So anybody who contacts me and I'll say, did you watch the video? It's an InDesign file, not an Illustrator file. And all I'm going to do is double click on that. Now, I didn't previously open InDesign, so it's going to take a second. And it opened in the wrong window. So as soon as I can, I'll bring it on over. And we have our awesome setup. So just like the other ones, if you're an Illustrator and stuff, and you have your workspace, make sure you kind of set up, you get layers on one side, properties on the other. I got all this other stuff I can like remove and take off and bump it around, like put libraries there. I use that, but I don't need this. And you do those, these are the windows, and you find out what you want. If you want that thing at the top, it's called a control. It can go there, window. I love it on. And you start to find out which ones of these you need the most. You always need layers, and you always want properties out. These are the main two you always want out, and you can build as you want. You can move them, you can shift them, but what you don't want to do is have things floating in the middle of your workspace that when you're working, you always need to move them. That's why they lock up in these cute little areas like this. And like when it turns blue, you can put it away. Just play around. That's all I'm saying. Like not like I say spend an hour on this. Spend 5 minutes just moving, like, oh, okay, if I do that and I can put it back, it turns blue. You're looking for indicators. You can change your toolbar. You want it 2 up, takes up more space for me. I like it down. Start to look around, start to play with the system. That's part of why I put an hour for this project. Oh, I can have this done in like 5 minutes. Yeah, you can, but maybe you should explore the workspace. I would put it in terms of learning a new app on your phone. Hey, everybody's got this new app. Oh, I'm going to sit and learn it because I care about what people are doing. I really don't. I say that facetiously. That's why I don't do that. But yeah, play around like you would anything else. Ooh, I really want to learn this new app. Well, you should really want to learn InDesign. So what we can start with is we're going to zoom out. And as we can see, I'm missing the examples. I have a picture, but I'm missing these 3 examples. So let's get those examples in there. So I'm going to lock each one of my layers. The lock means you can't get to it. And then I'm going to click on examples. I have something to show everybody because it happens to me all the time, and it's a-okay, and it's going to happen to you. If you're activated on a layer, see how it's blue, but it's locked in eyeball? You can't do anything. And you'll be like, why is nothing working? Why is nothing working? I want to make a box. I can't put a box. You always just go back and look at your layers and be like, oh, I'm working on the wrong one. 30 some years and I still make that mistake because we're working and I got my face, looking in here, and I forget to look over here that I may have clicked on something quickly and then moved and then been like, how come I can't draw my box? You always have to make sure you're on the right layer. That helps. So I do it to this day, and it's just, you become used to like just glancing back over and be like, oh, okay, cool, I got this fixed. All right, so I'm on examples. I'm going to go to File, Place, and this comes up. I'm going to go to my downloads, going to go to CP Pinelli's, go to links, and again, I'm going to hold down Shift. Oops. And then I clicked on the first one, hold down Shift. I'm going to click on that third one. I can get all 3 examples in one swoop. And I'm going to hit Open. This pops up. Don't worry, you may not get that. This is just an advanced feature I have put on. Don't worry about that. But what you're going to get is what you see in front of you. I've got a picture, that little mountain. I can't, show it to you. I can't. But it's a little mountain with a sun above it, and then there's a 3. That means I have 3 pictures. So I'm just going to tap 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. Now I'm zoomed out, and these are way too big. So I'm going to grab my select tool, and then I'm going to grab all 3 of those images. I'm going to go up to this top bar, and then this first one, I want to make sure that it has chains. These are connected chains. If it's like this, it's got a strike through it, make sure you click it so it looks like a set of chains. And then I'm going to type in 25. And that's just going to shrink my images to make them a workable size. And it does it quickly. That is quicker than me going to Free Transform, scaling down, then changing. I just grab them all, type in 25, and I'm ready to go. And that's why I do it that way. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, use my hand and that space bar to move around. And I'm going to do these images while I got them out. And I'm just going to move them where they need to go, and then I'll resize them. We're going to use Free Transform for resizing because it's the easiest one to use. The Free Transform tool is E on the keyboard, or it is right here. So I'm going to click. I got to make sure you're on the right. Make sure you are activated on the correct image, and then go to Free Transform. And then I'm going to hold down Shift. Now remember, we always hold down Shift. Always hold down Shift. Why do I repeat this so many times? Because I get so many images that are squished or squashed. And it's just wrong. We don't do that. We're displaying artwork. We want it to look perfect. Somebody worked on this. So these, I'm going to tighten up. I'm going to get them touching. Then I'm going to grab both of them. So there's a little gap. If I turn off my background, I have this little gap right here. So my images are touching. They're the same height. They're looking good. And then I can grab both of them, hit the Free Transform tool, and then just drag them out to be right in line with that margin line. It's all about that margin. Let me talk about that again. So the margin is the first line. This is our safety zone. You want all important stuff to be inside this area. This area here, for the intense period, I'll call that like a gutter. This is an area where you're unsure of what will happen and how wide it will be. It may shift a little bit either way. So you want to keep this area clear. And it also, in design looks fantastic if you leave that area clear. You can have stuff go past, but just you want to keep that area clear. And then this area is the bleed area. All your background needs to fill this area here. And that's for when we do the cutting of the image and anything that shifts. And I've just been doing stuff with this. And I had to be I was doing something very small. And I had to watch my bleed and because the shift, even though the shift, my button was a centimeter by a centimeter, the paper shift, if it was 1 millimeter, that's 10% of my thing. And so it becomes very important to understand that. So, and I like to review that because every once in a while people are like, why? I don't, why all this? I'm like, because it's like they have found it saves people time and money in the future. All right. And then we put in the 17. We get that sized up and looking great. Now, you just go through from top to bottom. Place in the CP Pinellis. Editorial designer extraordinaire. Back in the day when it was hard to be a woman in the industry, she excelled. She changed magazines forever. Like everything past her was done because of her. So read up on her, double check this. And again, I'm just using my arrow key. I got it left and right perfect, but not up and down. And I'm just going to use my arrow key to get it beautifully done. And then I put in my background. Then I export it. And for this project, I just need a PDF, a plain PDF, and the InDesign file. So just say I want the InDesign file and I want a PDF. It tells you how to make just that simple PDF. Upload both your IND file and PDF. It should be INDD. But then you save it, upload it. You should know how to do this. This is our 4th time now. You're exporting a lot of PDFs. Sometimes they're interchangeable, those terms. But for InDesign, you can't save as a PDF, but in Illustrator you can. So I should try to be a little bit clearer in those and export for submission, that it should say export. And in fact, I will go back and I'm going to write a note on changing that for good. I'm writing down export. I want these things to be clear to everybody. All right, so that's how we do that one. Good. I'm going to close out. Next up, let's have some color fun. Go, wrong window. Sorry about that, everybody. Didn't mean to make you go crazy. What's happening? All right. The color project. This is all about color palettes. I downloaded my file. I'm going to double click on it. You are to create color compositions. You're going to create one that is a complementary. And if you need to, refer back to the lectures. We want a complementary composition, a triad composition, an analogous composition, a cool composition, a warm composition, and a monochromatic composition. You don't have to change any of the titles. You just have to make little designs in your artwork area, and you turn off mine. And this is very, very important. So anybody who doesn't watch this video is probably going to get this wrong. And then they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know. And I'll be like, well, you didn't watch the lesson. Like, I teach this for a reason. For complementary and monochromatic, and actually for any of them, I want you to learn how to do a spot color. And you need to know how to do a spot color for monochromatic. So let's start there. I'm going to start with the monochromatic because I know then people will like drift away on me and whatever. So monochromatic means single color, one color, and you need to make a composition. So the first thing you should do is pick a color. Second thing is no shape. There will be 0 black available to be used. No shape. Anything that you create will not have a black border on it. Make sure you turn off that black border. I do not want a single black border. This is about color. Up until this point, everything is black, gray. For once you get to use color, I don't want to see a single touch of black in these. Turn off that black stroke. Every time I draw, then you go and you make sure you turn that off. You are the designer, not the computer. But the computer, I don't care what the computer did, change it. The computer's not your master. You tell the computer what you want. Now I'm going to make a color. I like this lime. So I clicked on this lime. Now I can adjust the color here. I always start with these swatches. You can adjust and make your own color by going to what looks like a little palette. And you can move these little guys around however you want to make your favorite. Ooh, you're going to do like this. Little like lemony greeny. So I have this color that I like. And I want to make tint tones and shades of it, or I want to make the monochromatic version of this. So what I'm going to do, and I'll do this twice so everybody can watch me do it. I have created my color box. And this is just so I can see what's going on. And I got my sliders and I have these perfect. I'm going to go back to the color swatches. I'm going to go down to this plus and I'm going to click the plus. Under swatch name, I'll call it lime green. Color type, spot. And then I'm going to hit OK. And what it did is it made a little guy right there, a little swatch, and there's a dot on it. You can see there's some up here. These are spot colors. That's why there's a dot. There's a spot on it. So what I can do now, when I have my color, and I'm going to make 3 boxes, and I'm going to grab this one, and it's the spot color. When I go and click on this palette again, I can now do an exact percentage of that color. If I click here, do the adjustment, and go to 40. This is monochromatic. And this is actually how I did this. This is one color, purple and yellow. And then each time I did a purple and yellow, I did 10% less. So it is a monochromatic system. So that's how you do monochromatic. Let's do another one. I'm going to draw a color. I'm going to draw a box. I'm going to go to the swatches and I'm going to pick something. I just pick a close, like a starter. I call it a starter. And then I adjust it how I want. That's too, I want it like a deep purple. Look at that. That's what I'm going for. All right. So I picked my color. I click on the color swatches. I go to plus, call it deep purple. Go color type, spot color. I hit OK. It has created a spot color. I'm going to click out of it, click back in. And now I could take this deep purple. Whoops. Make a couple boxes of it. And then I can go and adjust simply this part of it. And that is an exact monochromatic version of this color. So that's how you do the monochromatic. So you create a design, you create a spot color, and then you can change things. Now, what can I do? Well, let's just show you my example really quick. What did I do here? This is just boxes layered up, and each one is 10% of the one before it. Just a bunch of squares. But when you put them together and you look at it, it starts to mess with your eyes, and you see like shading happening, and it looks like there's like a hot spot right here, but there really isn't. All of these are just single flat colors, and that's what I want you to use. Now, when we work with complementary means opposite sides of that color wheel. If you need a refresher, because I do get this, some students do get this wrong once in a while, is refresh yourself and go back and just go to defining color. And on the second page, complementary, yellow, purple, green, red, blue, orange. Let's do blue, orange. And you can do anything you want. I'm going to do a square. So I can work. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go my artwork here. And I'm going to make a square. And I want it blue. I want the bluest blue I can blue. Let's adjust this. Yeah, like I want this. I got no yellow in it. There we go. I think that's what I want. And I'm going to call this dark blue. I'm going to make it a spot color because why not? And then I want orange. And I think I'm pretty good with these oranges. I want this orange. Now you can see it's spotting them in here. I still know where they are, right? So let's start. I want to start with the blue background. And then now I can go crazy. What if I do stripes? And I do an orange. Now this is how I work. And sometimes to do stuff, you do it a little bit like a puzzle. So I'm going to start with one piece. All right, I got my orange. And I'm going to make stripes. So I'm going to hold down Shift and Option and drag and do that. Now I'm going to go Control D. Control D is duplicate. Somebody else asked me how to do this. And you know what? Duplicate, I couldn't find it in the help. That is not what we want. But there's a Control D, Command D, Control D. And if I hit that, it will make a duplicate of this the same distance apart. See how I did that? And I'm just hitting Control D again. Now, I'm going to grab all the top oranges. And I'm going to make sure they're the exact width of the box. Right there. Or pretty dang close, right? Pretty close. You can go a little bit over and make sure you got no blue. And then I'm going to grab every other one and delete it. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll just go down. If this one's at 100%, let's do 80. So I'm going to go to this and I'm going to type in 80. This one, click there, 60. This one, 40. 100. Did I do 80? 80, 6, 60, 40, 20. This doesn't really work out perfectly. 20. And we'll go to like 5. I just want a little hint of color in there. And there we go. That's a complementary composition. Oh, and then I just thought, like, then go crazy. What happens if I copy, paste, and rotate 90 and put that like that? There we go. But I want, like, I think I want, what if I bring, now I'm gonna really go straight. I'm gonna bring this one to the front. Object, arrange, bring the front. I think that's how I wanted it. Because then it's starting like on this edge and it looks like it's higher and everything comes out. It's messing with my eyes. Oh, and then we should have it end. So I'm going to bring this one, object, arrange, bring the front, and I'm going to bring this one to the front one more time. So it ends. Object, arrange, bring the front. So what I'm doing in my mind is I'm moving those layers of shapes around. I want this one here, this one on this piece of glass, this one on that piece of glass. And there we have it. That's a complementary composition. Let's keep going. Triad. Let's turn that one off. 3 colors. Equidistance. I'll do yellow, blue, red. No. In order to speed things up, I'll do yellow, blue, red. Anyway, just do whatever we want. I'm going to take a triangle, a star. Now let's mess with the star. Ooh, I got an idea. Spinning it. All right. So we'll start with yellow. And then I want it perfectly centered. So I'm going to get a box. What smart guide one? Ah, there. I don't think my smart guides are on. That's why. So that's the direct middle. All right, so that's, now I'm gonna copy and paste and make this one bigger, holding down Shift and Option, and I'll do red. And I'm gonna move it to the middle. And I'm gonna rotate it 45 degrees. 45 does nothing, so I'm gonna do 30. I'm watching that the percentage, and I'm gonna get it as close as I can. 70, I think it wants to be 70. So I can also adjust that here. What if I do just type in 70? Oh, looks okay. It needs to be nudged. No, 70 is not 100% correct. $68. This is all part of that design. Oh, that's perfect. 68 was the winner. And then I'm gonna copy paste that, make it bigger, and then I want this one at 0. And I'm going to get it perfectly centered. Object, arrange, send it back. Oop. Oh, I got a white box there. If you run into this where it sends at the back and there's something back there, go to Object, Unlock All. And I do have these black squares there that you can delete if you run into a problem with that. Those are just borders. I can eventually probably set these up with a black border. Yeah, maybe I'll redo that file, get that set up for you all a little bit better. We learn over time, we make changes, adjustments, try to make things clearer. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That was a mistake. I'm keeping it. I'm gonna make it bigger. Oh, that's cool. And then blue in the background. Object, arrange, send it back. There's a triad. Should I do a yellow one in front? What if I make it? Does it ruin that effect? There you go. And this is just playing around. I didn't know what was going to happen. So make sure you play around a little bit. Like I said, if you get locked into that one item being in the background, if you are on your artwork here, all you need to do is unlock all, object, unlock all, and then you can delete these boxes. The only thing that happens is you won't see the border, so you might want to put a dark thing there. Like I said, I'll try to adjust this and re-upload it. It'll only take me a few minutes past the lecture. I didn't want to do that. There we go. Go back to the other ones as well. So analogous colors that are next to each other. Yellow, light orange, orange, there. Whatever you want. Just make an analogous composition. Pick something else. Pick a different shape. Like I said, to start out, do a rectangle, and I'm going to do that. And then if you go to the spot colors here, sometimes it's easy. Like you can just run the analogous right here. Like if I do start with yellow, I'm on the wrong layer. So I got to delete that, get back on the correct layer. We all do that. We all make little mistakes. You just go back, fix it. What else are you doing? This is your time. I want you to spend at least minimum 10 minutes per little design. And now I'm gonna do polka dots. And all I'm gonna do to start out, just make one in each color. I'll do one more. There you go. So this is analogous. And then I'm going to just like shrink, big, shrink. And then I'm going to lock. I'm going to take this yellow background. I'm going to go to Object and Lock Selection. What that does is means I can't grab that yellow background anymore. Now I'm going to grab these dots. And you can copy and paste. I'm going to arbitrarily rotate. And then I'm going to make them a different size. Just all of them. And put them there. Now I'm going to grab all of those. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to rotate a different way, arbitrarily, and make those a different size. And then I'm going to grab all of those. And I'm going to copy and paste. And I'm going to put them up here. And I'm going to make a different size. And I'm going to rotate like this. And I'm just going to start finding like where I want to put stuff. And if I don't like something, you're like, oh, I don't like the way that's lining up in that line, delete those two. And then you can grab just a section and copy and paste and put them in over here. And then I'm going to resize it. And I'm going to rotate it a bit. Like that. And then I'm going to grab some of these lower ones that I know are hidden there, and I'll put them up here. But I'm going to resize them like that. And I'm going to do it like this. And I'm just going to keep going. And then I'll make a copy of that right there. Whoops. And then you can go crazy. What if I copy and paste this, rotate it 90, and put it back in? See, just copying and pasting and experimenting. There's no right or wrong. All I was doing there is like holding down shift a lot and copying and pasting, holding down shift. And you get this crazy little germs, petri dish, all the same color. Cool composition. Cools, blues. For blues, I'm going to try a different shape. All right. Let's delete that. Oops, sorry. I'm going to start with a square, make a big square, and make sure stroke is nothing. No strokes used on this design. And then blue. I'll start with light blue. And I can always adjust this. This is another one where monochromatic might be really good. Yeah, I am going to make that monochromatic. I do want that. So, because I do want, then it makes it easier on me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the plus, call this light blue. From process to spot, hit OK. There's my spot color. This is now a spot color. And now when I draw something, it'll be that spot color. Make sure I'm off. Go to this. I'm going to hold down Shift and Option. But Joel, I can't see it. Well, because right now I have to tint it. And I'm going to go here and make it. I'm going to do one at 75. I'm dividing in my head. Then I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to hit down Shift and Option as I drag. Shift and Option as I drag. And I'm getting these equal distance apart. Now I'm going to click on each. Well, I'm going to lock this back one. This is I'm going to lock that layer. I want to start being able to grab these without the background. So I just clicked on only the background. I went to Object, Lock Selection. Now I want these three to be the size of this. Now I'm going to run into a problem. I know what I want to do, but I'm going to have a problem. So that's at 74. Then we'll do this one at 50. And this one at 25. Ah. All right. Now, I'm going to pull these down. And I'm going to go over to here. Underneath the rotate tool is a reflect tool. See that? And if you double click on it, you can see what happened. it put the dark over here, the light over there. See? It's another fun one to play with. And then you hit OK. And then I'm going to do another one. And this is the problem. I knew this was going to happen. These hexagons aren't square in proportion, even though the square is. So you end up with some running off the bottom. So I'm going to take all of these. I'm going to then center them, right? So now that center line. And let's have maybe this one and this one. What happens if those disappear? What I mean by disappear is I'm going to use the eyedrop tool. And the eyedrop tool will select any color I want that's anywhere on the artboard. And I'm going to try that color. I don't want them disappeared. So I'm going to go to 5, 10, 10, 10, 10, 5%. I don't like that either. I think I'm just going to go with what I had. I think I wasn't thinking the middle would stay the same. These two, those two. What if I grab all these? What if I copy and paste and rotate? Does this just become a jumbled mess? It's kind of cool. I think it's a jumbled mess. I'll keep it at I'll keep it at that. Warm composition, same thing. This one, I want triangles. So I'm going to start with the polygon. We just move that slider on that edge to get a triangle. We want reds. I want this. I'm all about patterns. I'm sorry. Like you can do organic stuff. Maybe I should have done something organic. I'll do the final one, organic. I mean, the bubbles are organic. I just don't want to like draw stuff and have people be like, you never taught us how to draw. And I'd be like, well, it's the Illustrator course. I got to get rid of that background. I'm going to put in yellow as my backdrop. Nope, I'm going to do light orange. Object, arrange, send to back. And now I have the triangles. Delete that one. And just start playing. Like, get this one in the middle. They'll line up. And then I'm going to hit Shift and Option. And again, you do whatever you want on these. This is just me playing around. Let's see what we can get. Well, let's make it half. Let's do this. And all I'm doing is just copying and pasting. I didn't lock that. Object, lock selection. And now when I grab all those and I hit Shift and Option and I drag down, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate these 90 degrees, grab all those, bring them down. I want it perfect. Like, watch your snap. Get your snap to be perfect. (1950s) and get that centered. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Monochromatic. Which color should I use for monochromatic? That's super purple. Deep purple. All right. So this one, I'll delete the background. And remember that first assignment we did, where it's like you can use the blob brush, but I want the blob brush to be, do like 50. There we go. And then you could just like draw wormy dealies. I'll just draw a bunch of wormy dealies. So I'm going to take that background, go to Object, Lock Selection. That way I can't move my background color. Go back on the blob brush. It's selected that color. I don't want it to be that color. I want to be able to see it. So I go blob brush, that color, and then I'm going to choose 75. You know, and just kind of like, you can just do mirror. I'm just scribbling. And then I'll go to 50, do some more scribbling. Scribble, scribble. Then I go to 25. Some more scribbling. And then I'll go back to 75. Do some more scribbling. And I go back to 50. Do some more scribbling. And one more at 25. And there's my abstract one. So there you go. A complementary composition, a triad, analogous, cool composition, warm composition, and monochromatic composition. Now you can go a little bit crazier on these. You can see which cools you want to go to. You can go extremes on these. Analogous, it's just they have to be next to each other. So you look at that color wheel, and it could be anywhere. It could be, you know, green, teal, blue, purple, blue. Like these are now, like whatever ones float your boat. You don't do what I did. Do what you want to do. Play around, have some fun, try all different experiments. It's Illustrator, it's easy. Like I said, I will, if you wait like 3 minutes, I'll update this assignment and then do all future and past ones on Tuesday. Oh, this is a reminder, next week, this class does not meet next week. Tuesday, the college is closed. Thursday is a work day. Get your stuff done, get caught up. Do all the stuff that, you don't have to meet with me. Just kind of roll with the day. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Use Tuesday and Thursdays to your advantage to get caught up if you're falling behind in anything. And it's just me. Make sure you check with your other instructors about what they are doing. A little note will pop up on Blackboard and it will show no classes and a work day. The college is closed on Tuesday, but Thursday I will come in if people want me to come in. Otherwise, I'll work from home. So, all right, cool. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All right, I will also be available on Tuesday and Thursday. Like you just use the message boards or discussion boards, and I'll be checking and working with that. So, no worries. Take care. Have some fun with this. And I will talk to you, if I don't talk to you on discussion boards or in the messages, I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. All right, take care.